The Atlanta market is not broken, it's just split.
Atlanta's housing market recorded weaker sales even as for sale inventory went up to heights not seen until years before the pandemic.
While the media talks about a housing crash, the reality is far more nuanced. Some segments are seeing 8 or more months of inventory, while others have less than 2 months available.
And Metro Atlanta's housing market may be entering a new phase. Sales are down, pending contracts are falling fast, and inventory is climbing. All signs that demand may be easing even as prices hold steady.
I am Tim Trevathan, and I've been buying and selling homes in North Metro Atlanta for over 10 years. And today I'm going to break down exactly which home types are struggling and which are still flying off the market. But before we dive into these categories, there is one number you need to understand, because once you understand it, everything else I'm about to show you will make total sense. That number is months of inventory. Here's how it works. Take all the active listings on the market right now. Divide that by the average number of homes that sold each month over the past year. And what you get is months of inventory. In plain terms, it tells you this: if no new listings hit the market starting today, how many months would it take for buyers to purchase every single home that is currently available? When months of inventory is at 3 or below, that is a seller's market. Sellers have the leverage, buyers are competing. 6 months is considered a balanced market, where neither side has a clear edge. When months of inventory climbs above 6, that is a buyer's market. Buyers have choices, buyers have negotiating power, and sellers need to compete for attention. Now, here is why this matters, specifically for North Metro Atlanta right now. As of late 2025, the Metro Atlanta market as a whole was sitting at about 4.63 months of inventory, up nearly 16% from the year before. On average, that sounds manageable. It sounds balanced, but that average is hiding an enormous amount of variation. When you drill down by property type and price point, the story changes dramatically. Some segments are running at 2 months or less, which is still firmly a seller's market. Other segments are running at 6, 8, or even significantly more months of inventory, which puts buyers firmly in control. So let's break it all down. 6 categories where things are slow, 5 categories where things are still moving fast. Let's start with the struggling side. Struggling category number 6, which is high-end attached homes. Let's start with the segment where the pullback is most visible right now, and that is attached homes in the upper price ranges. When I say attached homes, I mean condos and townhomes, anything where you share a wall with another unit. Here's what the data shows for March 2026. The median condo price in Atlanta fell 7.5% compared to the year before. Townhome prices fell 2.8%, and condo active listings rose 21% year over year. Meanwhile, single-family homes dropped only 0.5% in price. That is not a small divergence. That is the market telling you something very specific. The higher you go in this attached segment, the more pronounced the problem becomes. Condos and townhomes in the 400,000 to 600,000 range are sitting with significantly more inventory than they had 12 months ago. Buyers in this segment are running the math and finding that the total cost, including the mortgage, HOA dues, insurance, and any special assessments, is not stacking up favorably against what they could get with a similarly priced single-family home. On top of that, condo sales volume fell 5.3% year over year in March 2026, while single-family sales volume actually rose 4.1%. Volume and price are both moving in the wrong direction at the same time for this segment. If you're selling a condo or a townhome in the 400,000 to 600,000 range right now, exceptional presentation and aggressive, accurate pricing from day one are not optional. They are the difference between selling and sitting. If you're buying in this space, the repricing is real. You have negotiating room that did not exist 2 years ago. Just make sure you understand the full monthly cost picture before you make an offer. Struggling category number 5, urban condos with high HOA fees. One of the toughest spots in the entire North Atlanta market right now is a very specific type of condo. It is priced under $300,000 on the surface, which makes it look affordable, but then you see the HOA fee, and suddenly that affordable purchase does not look affordable anymore. We are talking about urban and suburban condos where the HOA runs anywhere from $500 to over $1,500 per month. And here is the problem that most buyers figure out pretty quickly. Lenders include HOA dues in your debt to income calculation. That means a $700 monthly HOA fee can reduce your qualifying loan amount significantly or push you out of qualifying for that property entirely. One building in in the Buckhead area, as another example, was facing an HOA fee increase of 46% in 2026, pushing costs above $1 per square foot per month. When buyers see those numbers, they start comparing them against a townhome in Gwinnett or a single-family starter home in Beaufort, for example, and in that comparison, the condo loses. The result? These properties are sitting. According to local market data, condos in Atlanta have median days on market running from the mid-40s to the 70s, depending on the county. And, of course, like I mentioned before, even over 100 days in a sought-after area like Alpharetta. Fulton and DeKalb condos are firmly in buyer's market territory by months of supply measures. Active condo inventory in Fulton County alone sits at approximately 1,261 units. If you own one of these and you need to sell, you have to price with the HOA fee as part of the story. Buyers are already calculating the full monthly number, and if your pricing does not account for that burden, you will sit. If you're buying and you want a condo in this price range, negotiate hard and run the full monthly cost calculation before you fall in love with the unit itself. Struggling category number 4, luxury markets above $750,000. Another area seeing real challenges is the luxury segment above $750,000, and the data in this space is striking. Let me give you one number that captures just how much this segment has shifted. In February 2026, Atlanta's luxury condo market above 1 million registered 33.7 months of inventory. That means at the pace homes were selling at that time, it would take nearly 3 years to absorb all the available inventory. There were just 3 closings above 1 million in February and 5 in January. The single-family luxury segment is not as extreme, but the pressure is real. In Alpharetta, one of the primary luxury corridors in North Fulton, only 11.86% of homes sold above asking price in 2026, down from 21.5% the year before. Now, even though with that statistic in mind, I want to tell you, I have buyers looking in Alpharetta and they don't feel the letdown. To be honest, some of them are on the ground running and they are competing with multiple offers on several houses that they're submitting offers on. So do be aware of that. The sale to list ratio there sits at 96.61%, and 64.82% of listings have experienced price reductions. In Forsyth County, where the median sits around $609,000 and has dipped approximately 2.2% year over year, active listings are up roughly 33% year over year. The market action index for higher priced Forsyth corridors sits at only 32, which means buyers hold meaningful negotiating power. If you're selling above $750,000 right now, staging, professional photography, and accurate pricing from day one are non-negotiable. If you're buying in this range, you have more leverage than you have had in years. Use it to your advantage. Now, as you're watching this, you may be wanting to know, well, what do I really need to know about buying a home other than what I'm hearing from you right now, Tim? Well, that's why I have this amazing home buyer guide that I have written up over many years of experience using real data and real facts and going through the step-by-step process of how to buy a home here in Metro Atlanta. You can download this guide, just use the QR code, and you'll be pleasantly surprised at the information because I just revamped it. It's been completely revised for 2026, so the new edition will not disappoint. Juggling category number 3, the move-up range from $350,000 to $500,000. Here is what else is struggling right now. That move-up buyer sweet spot between $350,000 and $500,000. And the reason this segment is stuck comes down to a trap that a lot of homeowners are caught in right now. Think about it this way. Imagine you bought your home in 2020 or 2021 and locked in a mortgage rate at 2.9 or 3.2%. Your monthly payment feels manageable. Now you look at trading up to a larger home in that $400,000 to $500,000 range, and the current 30-year rate in Georgia is sitting at 6.375% as of mid-May 2026. On a $400,000 loan with 20% down, this is a principal and interest payment of approximately $2,000 per month. That is more than 50% higher than what you would have paid on the same loan just 4 years ago. Most potential move-up sellers are looking at that number and deciding to stay put. And when the seller stays put, the supply of homes in that $350,000 to $500,000 range heightens in some pockets. But simultaneously, the buyers who want to move up are hesitating too. The result is a segment where inventory in Northeast Metro Atlanta is up nearly 50% year over year. Average days on market have climbed from 15 days to 23 days, and sellers are having to offer concessions or price reductions to get buyers across the finish line. In March 2026, approximately 32.8% of Metro Atlanta listings across all price points were already reducing their prices, with a relisting rate of 24.4%, more than double the typical 10%. This segment is contributing heavily in those numbers. If you are selling in this range, you need to win the presentation battle from day one. Priced right and showing beautifully, you can still sell. If you are buying here, you have negotiating power that was simply not available to buyers 2 or 3 years ago. Ask for concessions, ask for closing cost credits. Struggling category number 2, existing homes competing with new construction. Man, now this is real. This next category tells a different story, and it is directly affecting sellers in almost every price range right now, because you are not just competing against other resale homes, you're competing against brand new construction with builder incentives. Here is the reality in Gwinnett County, for example, right now. There are 743 new construction homes for sale in Gwinnett alone, with a median listing price of $450,000. And builders are not sitting on those listings waiting for full price. They are offering $30,000 to $40,000 in promotions applied towards price reduction, closing costs, or mortgage rate buy downs. A builder who can buy your rate down to 5.5 or 5.75% on a new home is effectively saving you hundreds of dollars a month compared to buying a resale at the current market rate. That is a very compelling offer for a buyer who is already sensitive to monthly payment size. And the competition is not just happening in Gwinnett. In Alpharetta, there are 160 new homes for sale at a median listing price of $799,000, with most homes receiving 3 offers. Builders in North Fulton are active across the price spectrum, and approximately 62% of luxury new construction listings in the Alpharetta North Fulton corridor are concentrated right in Alpharetta. So what does this mean for resale sellers overall? You need a reason for a buyer to choose you over new construction. That reason could be a larger lot. It could be a more established neighborhood. It could be mature landscaping, a finished basement, or a school district that is not served by the new construction community down the road. But you have to identify the reason clearly and make sure your price reflects the comparison honestly. Truly, all these things matter, and you have to look at the fine details before you list your home on the market. If you're a buyer, new construction incentives are genuinely worth exploring right now. Just understand the full picture, including the builder's standard contract terms, which are more protective of the builder than a typical resale agreement. And last but not least, struggling category number 1, overpriced homes in any segment. The number 1 struggling category, the one creating the most frustrated sellers in North Atlanta right now, is any home that is overpriced for today's market conditions. And so I want to be precise about what overpriced means, because this comes up in almost every listing conversation I have. Overpriced does not mean the home is not worth what the seller wants. It means the price is above what buyers are currently willing and able to pay based on comparable sales right now. Those are 2 different things, and confusing them is costing sellers thousands of dollars and months of time. So here's the data. In Gwinnett County, as of early May 2026, 34.41% of all listed homes had already dropped their price. That is up 11.6 points from the year before. There are 4,323 active listings in Gwinnett alone, and only 19.08% of Gwinnett homes sold above list price, down 12.1 points year over year. In Forsyth County, homes are selling for approximately 96% of list price, with average days on market around 67 to 68 days. The Metro Atlanta relisting rate in March 2026 was 24.4%, more than double the typical 10% baseline. That means nearly 1 in 4 listings came back off the market and went back on at a lower price. The pattern is always the same. Sellers priced high, hoping to leave room to negotiate. Buyers with real choices skip the listing entirely. The home sits for 45, 60, 90 days. The price drops. The listing gets relisted. And by that point, buyers are wondering, what's wrong with it? The homes that are selling in every segment, even the challenging ones, are the homes that were priced on closed comparable sales from the past 90 days, not on wishful thinking or on what the neighbor listed for. Price it right on day 1. Market it aggressively. That is still how you win in this market. Okay, now moving on to hot categories. So hot category number 5. Here we go. Suburban single family in top school districts. The suburban single-family homes in the right school districts. They are the clear winners right now. When families relocate to North Metro Atlanta, and tens of thousands of them are every year, one of the first filters they apply is school quality. Not school quality in a general sense, specific schools, specific great schools, ratings, specific national rankings. They have done their research before they ever got on a plane, and that research keeps pointing them to the same corridors: Johns Creek, North Duluth, Suwanee, and the top school zones in South Forsyth. Johns Creek is a useful benchmark for what this segment looks like. The median home sales price in Johns Creek was $700,000 in February of 2026, with homes averaging just 36 days on market. Johns Creek Public Schools average a great schools rating of 9 out of 10. Johns Creek ranks as the #1 best place to live and raise a family in Georgia, according to niche.com. Forsyth County continues to attract buyers for similar reasons: top-rated schools, access to Lake Lanier, and the Georgia 400 corridor that keeps Alpharetta and Atlanta accessible. Even as broader Forsyth inventory has risen, listings that are priced correctly and marketed aggressively are still finding buyers. In Duluth, despite 43% of listings having experienced some price reduction across the county, well-positioned homes close to I-85 and the job market are still turning over quickly, often within 2 months. If you're selling a single-family home in one of these school corridors, you're in the strongest position of any seller in this market. Lead with the school data. So use the third-party ratings. This is what is driving the search. So if you're a buyer targeting this segment, know that you are competing with relocation families from California, New York, and Florida who have sold high-cost homes. You need to move decisively and come prepared. Hot category number 4, Duluth, Georgia, Koreatown corridor. Now, for a category that is particularly relevant if you know what is happening in the Gwinnett County corridor, and one that I can speak to directly from my own experience working with buyers in this market, Duluth is not just performing well because of schools or jobs or I-85 access. Although all of those things are true, Duluth is performing well because of something that does not exist anywhere else in North Atlanta: a fully developed Korean, Vietnamese, and Chinese community infrastructure that is decades in the making. Asian Americans make up 25.9% of Duluth's population. The Pleasant Hill corridor is known nationally as Georgia's Koreatown. Now, I do want to make note that the hottest part of Duluth that I'm referring to specifically is North Duluth. So while you have a majority of the Koreatown present on Pleasant Hill on exit 104, it is Sugarloaf Parkway, exit 108, that is the hot spot that people are moving to. The median listing price in Duluth was approximately $442,283 as of April 2026, with home values showing modest year-over-year growth. The Sugarloaf area, as I mentioned, they feature gated communities as well, ranging from 500,000 up to 6 million. And with 17.58% of Duluth's workforce working from home, location flexibility is allowing remote working buyers to prioritize community over commute. If you're selling in Duluth, you have an audience of buyers from the most expensive real estate markets in the country who are looking specifically for what you have. Make sure your marketing is reaching that audience. If you're buying this corridor, understand that you are not the only one who has identified this community as a destination. Be prepared to move when the right home becomes available. Now, whether you are looking at the struggling segments for opportunities or the hot segments for a strong sale, every situation is unique. If you are considering making a move in the next few months and you want advice from somebody who has been living and working in North Metro Atlanta for over 10 years, who tracks these specific market segments across Gwinnett, North Fulton, and South Forsyth on a daily basis, give me a call or send me a text at 770-906-0748. Or if you want to schedule a time that works for you, you can book directly through the link in the description at calendly.com/Tim Trevathan Homes. Based on your specific situation, your timeline, your price point, we can work out the best strategy for this split market. Hot category number 3, well-priced move-in ready homes under $450,000. This didn't surprise me even when I looked at the data. Well-priced move-in ready homes under $450,000 in Gwinnett County are still flying. Here's what I mean by that. The average home value in Gwinnett County sits at $398,377, and homes in this range are going to pending in around 10 days on average when they are priced and presented well. Local market data consistently shows that move-in ready homes under $450,000 in Gwinnett, particularly in areas like Lawrenceville and surrounding communities, continue to move quickly even as the broader county inventory has climbed significantly. Why? because this is the price point where relocation buyers from higher cost markets find their moments. I've had buyers come from California and New York who genuinely could not believe what their budget could buy here. They've never owned a home. It's been their dream to own a home. And finally, they can here in Metro Atlanta. New construction homes with 4 or 5 bedrooms, 3-car garages, finished basements, and resort-style community amenities at a price they could not come close to in their home market. And the population story supports the demand. Metro Atlanta added approximately 64,400 new residents from 2024 to 2025 alone, with continued growth concentrated in Gwinnett, Forsyth, and Cherokee counties as buyers trade commute time for affordability. For sellers in this range, if your home is clean, updated, and priced accurately, you are in a very competitive position. Move-in ready matters enormously to this audience. They are relocating from out of state and they cannot afford to take a renovation project remotely. And get this, despite that, what I just said, there are people that are. That's how much they're motivated to move here. So you guys, it's a big deal here. For buyers competing in this space, get pre-approved at the top of your budget and be ready to move quickly when something right comes on the market. This is not the segment where hesitation is rewarded. Hot category number 2, relocation-driven demand in Suwanee and Alpharetta, where demand is still intense, and this one matters if you are thinking about either of these cities. It's Suwanee and Alpharetta, and the reason comes from outside Georgia. According to Redfin data from 2026, Los Angeles homebuyers were searching to move into Suwanee more than any other metro area in the country. New York followed, Washington was third, and separately, New York homebuyers searched to move into Atlanta more than any other metro in the country. These are not random patterns. These are financially motivated buyers from markets where the same home costs 2 or 3 times what it costs here, bringing equity and purchasing power with them. In Alpharetta, the typical home value sits at $656,261, up 2.6% over the past year, according to Zillow. And in January 2026, the Redfin median sales price hit $712,000. And the new construction pipeline in Alpharetta shows 160 homes for sale at a median listing price of $799,000, with most homes receiving 3 offers. Suwanee and Alpharetta are also benefiting from a specific dynamic that I call the move-up ripple. Homeowners in Johns Creek, Cumming, Roswell, and the surrounding areas who have accumulated equity over the past several years are selling and moving up to larger homes as interest rates have stabilized slightly. That creates a second wave of demand layered on top of the out-of-state relocation flow. If you are selling in Suwanee or Alpharetta, you have an audience that stretches from Atlanta's northern suburbs all the way to Los Angeles. Priced correctly, market professionally, and you will find your buyer. Now, if you are a buyer in these markets, understand who you are competing with. These are not buyers stretching their budget to the limit. Many of them have sold homes in coastal markets and are moving with significant equity. Know your numbers and come ready to move. Okay, and now, hot category number 1, right-priced homes in any segment. And now, the hottest segment of all. And honestly, this one cuts across every price point in every county in North Metro Atlanta. The single hottest category in the market right now is any home that is priced accurately for today's market conditions from day one. I know that sounds simple, but the data makes it clear just how powerful this one decision is. When a home in Gwinnett County is priced correctly, it goes to pending in approximately 10 days, according to Zillow. When it is priced wrong, it joins the 34.41% of Gwinnett listings that have dropped their price and the 24.4% of Metro Atlanta listings that came off the market and relisted. Those are 2 completely different experiences for a seller. One leads to a confident quick close and the other leads to months of stress and frustration and often a lower final sales price than if they had simply started at the right number. Across Georgia in March 2026, 17.3% of homes sold above the list price. The statewide sale to list ratio sits at 97.7%. For Gwinnett specifically, sold homes are achieving a 98.4% sales to list ratio. This tells you that when sellers price accurately based on closed comparable sales from the past 90 days, rather than on what active listings are asking or what they hope to get, the market responds. Well-priced and well-presented homes across North Atlanta, in Gwinnett, in North Fulton, in South Forsyth, they're all still seeing multiple offers within days of listing, according to market data and analysis from the agency Atlanta. The math is straightforward. A seller who starts at the right price and closes in 3 weeks almost always nets more than a seller who starts 8% too high, chases the market down with the 3 price drops over 90 days, and closes at 94 cents on the dollar. And this is exactly where having a trusted advisor who understands current values in your specific zip code makes all the difference. This market split is not permanent. It is an opportunity, and it is sitting right in front of you right now. The sellers who understand which segment they are in, priced accordingly from day one, and market aggressively are still closing strong deals. And the buyers who know which segments have real leverage are finding more value than this market has offered in years. If you want to know exactly where your situation fits, grab my free Atlanta relocation guide from the link in the description or book a call directly at calendly.com/Tim Trevathan Homes. And let's build a strategy that actually works for your timeline and your goals. Can't wait to hear from you.